Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, yeah, testing. We good. All right, Shalom, Israel. Priest and Officer Atazim of the ICPK and the Commander General Yohana. Yahba Hashem Yahushua Barakathum to the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alatah Hashem Yahushua to the sisters. We at the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And we've been teaching the truth since 1969 that all so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives are God's chosen people according to the Bible. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now, there's been, I don't know, it seems like every day I wake up, there's something new going on, right? Crime, all types of things still going on. And I'm going to read something later on that I thought was just absolutely mind-blowing. I'm not going to give it away just yet. But the topic today, for anybody who may be watching, the topic today is how the earth has been given unto the hands of the wicked. So we're going to be talking about a couple things. First, we're going to talk about how did we get here in the first place? Who are the wicked ones who are ruling the earth today? And what can you do? What can we do to change the circumstances which we are in? For anybody that knows me personally, I go on social media quite a bit, and I meet, of course, all the different tribes of brothers and sisters. They're not inside of the school, of course, but just seeing our people and how destroyed they are. I recently have been getting more information about our native indigenous brothers and sisters, right? The tribes of Gad, Issachar, the northern tribes, and the oppression that they're facing right now. It came to my attention that there is this movement going on to erase native identity. Now, recently I have gotten some complaints, of course, from some people. They think that the ICBK is trying to erase native culture, which native culture is Israelite culture. But my point being is they are trying everything that they can, not they as in the natives, they as in the oppressor, and anybody who follows the oppressor's ways, to say that they are not the real indigenous, they're Chinese, they're from Siberia, they are not the original people of the Americas, and they're just trying to wipe out every little bit of culture that they have. And when I tell you, Gad and Issachar is very wroth right now, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them because me as a Judite, if you don't mind me asking, brother, what tribe are you from? Tribe of Judah? Okay, so that would be who today? So-called African-Americans, so-called black people, so-called Negroes, whatever you want to call us, right? And we know that over the past, 500 years? What have we went through? Our names have changed multiple times. Because remember, at first, it wasn't even black. Black is probably like the most recent one. Before it was Afro-American. You had Negro, which really just means black in Spanish. And for those of y'all who don't remember, our people were also called colored people here in the Americas as well. My point being is all these terms were given to us by our oppressor. The identity keeps changing over and over and over again. And the sad part is we just have no choice but to accept it. Why? Because our language was taken away from us. I know some people might get confused with this, right? Here in the ICBK, we say that Judites, Benjamites, right? The southern tribes are not African. It kind of throws some people off. If I could explain real quick. When we say we are not African, what we're really saying is we're not Hamites, right? Because anybody can live in Africa. A white man can leave today and go live in Africa, or can be born in Africa, and now his nationality is African when clearly he's a white man. A Chinese person can be born in Africa, same as us today, we're born in America. I went to other countries, they don't even call us black, they call us American. That's it. My point being is when we say African, we're talking about the primary race of people who inhabits the continent Africa today, which would be mostly Hamites. There's other nations there too, but mostly Hamites. Yes, it is true. Judah, or the different tribes in the Judite territory, the southern tribes, did travel throughout Africa and inhabit West Africa primarily. For those of y'all who don't know, you can go look at an old map. I believe it's like the Negro land map. It was made by some European, forgot his name. But he went around, and of course, this is what they always do. He studied who inhabited that land and found out that there was a certain kind of people that inhabited not too close to, I believe it's Benin. And it says the kingdom of Ouida, can be a bird, or it's Ouida Galley, which is a ship because it was the slave coast. But it also says the kingdom of Judah. And it was already shown that people who were there practiced quote unquote Jewish customs, and they were different from the surrounding people around them. They like to tell you, well, black people own black slaves. No, Africans owned Negro slaves. Egyptians owned Negro slaves. For all my brothers out there who think that they're Egyptian, you are not Egyptian. You're not some Hotep. Anubis and Ra and all that other garbage is not real. Okay, the real God is in the Bible. Okay, so with that being said, I'll leave it at that. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. And we're about to get started with the prayers. I'm not sure if this actually went on. Salakia, just give me 1 second. Let's do this. Okay. All right, so with that, Amadium, which means to stand, just me up here though. Take these off. Laya Sharala, which means to Israel. Amadiam Apon Yahakwadam, which means to stand and face the east. And we're going to begin with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. And pretty much you'll just repeat after me. This is the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malak with Ka. Thaba'ah. Ratazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Latan Lanawa. Lakum. Call. Yawam. Wasalak Nawa. Kabawath Nawa. Kasalak Nawa. Kabawath Yanawa. Wala'ah. Tabaya Nawa. Banasaiwan. Abol. Hawashai Nawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwath. Waha'ala. Wataparath. Lawalumyam. Aman. Now in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. All right, so now this is Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baba Kasha, Latan Lanawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Kol, Makala, Wakol, Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha, Matazariah, Haka, Lahaquayan, Hamathia, Haka, Il, Rakawath, Hatama Allah, Lagar Shun, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Thawada, Aman. Now in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Now this is the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahushai, Wa Mayaka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Matazab Ya'ah, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapim, Ha Sarunyim, Ha Kwatazayoyin, Haka Yayoyin, Waha Akwafim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Thawada, Aman. Now in the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. We got Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, all, Hahorim, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Izoria, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, all Yadun, Lamawat, Ragorka, all, Yanawam, Shamorka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashun, Shawamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamorka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyamka, Yawamum, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makor, Rai, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Wabawa'afka, Maitha, Wa'ai, Ayawalam. Now in English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade. Upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, all, Damaya, Laka, all, Thakarash, wa all, Fashakwat, all, Kaya, Hana, Awayabyaka, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, I'll, Amaka, Ya'ayamwa, Sawada, Waitha, Yaitazawa, I'll, Tezapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidum, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shum, Yasharala, Iwada, Kaya, Naitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Bar Yaf, Yakarathwa, Ahoya, Adawa, Wa, Yashama Alyum, Mawa'aba, Wahagorium, Gabal, Wayama1, Wayamalak, Palashath, Am Yashabia, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Nalawa, Imum, Hayawa, Zorawai, Labunya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Lahum, Kamudyim, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayubyin, Banakwa, Kwayashwan, Nasha Madwa, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shaya Thumwa, Nada, Yabmawa, Kairab, Wakaza Abba, Wakaza Bak, Wakata Zalmanai, Call, Nasa Yakamur, Ashur, Amarwa, Nayara Shah, Lanawa, Af, Nawaf, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shaya Thumwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapunya, Raka'a, Ka'ash, Thaba'ira, Ya'ira, Wa, Kalahaba, Falahat, Harayum, Kun, Tharadatma, Basa'iraka, Wabasa, Wapathka, Tabahalum, Mala'a, Panyahum, Kuala One, Waya, Akwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Adyai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Dayawa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labarka, Alyawan, Alkor, Ha'arataza. Now in the English, keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep thou not silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo,
thine
enemies make atonement.
Thine enemy make atonement.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee.
Have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel.
Against thy people.
Against our people.
And consulted.
Consulted.
Against thy hidden ones.
Against our hidden ones.
They have said.
They have said.
Come.
Come.
And let us cut them off.
Let us cut them off.
From being a nation.
From being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel.
May be no more in remembrance.
That will be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together.
With one consent.
With one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab. And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. A sword also was joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red. And like Zaed. Yea. All their princes. As Zabah. And as Zalmunna. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God. Make them like a wheel. As a stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them. With thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Lord. Let them be confounded. And troubled. forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
yet to be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
are the most high
over all the earth.
of all the earth.
All right, you can be seated. Oh, make sure this is up. Something just happened. Give me 1 second. That's strange. All right. All right. So we're going to be reading out of the book of Jeremiah. We're going to start with verse 4. Oh, it's like chapter 4, verse 1. I'm going to read the first 7 verses in the Hebrew, and then we'll continue and give the breakdown in the English. Oh, make sure. All right, so this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 1. Tasha Ya'ab, Asha Da'al, Na'am, Yahweh, Aliyah, Tasha Na'ab, let's see, Ya'am, Tata Ya'ad, Shakwa Taza Ya'ad, Mapunya, let's see, Yala'a, Thana Ya'ad, Yanasha Ba'aith, let's see, Kaya Yahweh, Bamath, let's see, Bamasha Pa'at, Yabat, let's see, Yabataz Bataza da Kwa'a, Ya'atha Ba'ad Baya, Gawayam, Gawayam, Nabaya, it's like Yaba'a, no, Waba'a, Yatha Laya Ta Baya, let's see, oh, Kaya Ba'a, Ahmad Yahweh, Ya'ash, Yahawada, let's see, Yada Shaba'am, let's see, Nabaya Ya'am, Yada Maya Da, Naya Daya, Laba'am, Ya Naya'ad, let's see, Ya'all, let's see, Ya'all, Faza Da'aya, or Kwaya Taza Ya'am, Hamalaya, La Yahweh, let me see, Ya'ata Daya, Idala Ya'af, Laba Ba'am, let's see, Ayash, Yahawada, let me see, Wayasha Baya, Yada Yada Shalaom, Pun, let's see, Taza'ah, Ba'ash, Kama Thaya, let's see, Waba'idaya, Wa'aya'an, what's like, yeah, Mabaka'a, Mapanya, Da'ai, let's see, Mail Laya Ba'am, let me see, Kapaya, what's like, yeah, that's a mean one. Hagayadaya, let's see, Baya Hayada'a, let's see, Slakia, Baya Hawada, Slakia, Yama Dashalaam, Shamayaya, Yamadya, Yatha Quad shit. Slakia. Kwa'ai Ya'an, Kwa'ai Ya'a, Shada Pa'an, Slakia, Pa'ad, Kayat Da'ai, Kwada Aya, Ma La'aya, Amadya, Tapaya, let's see, Na Ma'aya, O Idea, Hamabataza'ad, Shaya'a, Nata, Tazaya Na'a, Ha'ayazaya, O, let's see, Thamadya, Kaya, Daya, Anabaya, Mabaya'a, Matazapa Ya'an, Washa Ba'ad, Gada Ya'o, Ila'a, let's see, Adaya, Mata Kada'a, Yamasha Ya'ath, Gada Ya'am, Nataya'ai, Yataza'a, Makwa Ma'ya, Lashama Ya'am, Ala, Adataza Ya'ad, Nasha Ma'a, Daya'an, Tataza Ya Na'a, Maya'an, let's see, Yasha, Sha'ab. Okay, so that's it for the Hebrew. So now we'll give the breakdown in the English. So this will be the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 1. This thing keeps shutting off. Shalom, Lord Christ, out of one. Let's do that. Okay. All right, so this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 1, and it says, If thou wilt return, O Israel, saith the Lord, return unto me, and if thou wilt put away thine abominations out of my sight, then shalt thou not remove. And thou shalt swear, the Lord liveth in truth, in judgment, and in righteousness. And the nations shall bless themselves in them, and in him shall they glory. So you can take a couple of things out of the first two scriptures, right? So, of course, we got to understand how we got into this wickedness. We got to understand how we got into the wicked world that we're in today. Remember, originally, the land was supposed to give into us to rule. The earth was supposed to give into us to rule, you understand? And you got to understand, when so-called Blacks, Latinos, and natives are in power, the earth is good. You know, we know how to properly use the land. We don't abuse the animals. Y'all understand that all these animals are going extinct because of Esau, right? Like, y'all see all these shows. What was it like? Steve Irwin, I believe he was the Edomite from Australia. He died many years ago. But how many of y'all ever see black people on these TV shows messing with these poisonous animals, messing with tarantulas and crocodiles and snakes? We don't do that type of stuff. You don't see us deep sea diving with great white sharks. Y'all don't see us out here hunting whales, hunting rhinos for ivory in their horns, and ivory in the tusk of elephants. Not just too long ago, if I'm not mistaken, there was some poachers. This was wild to me. I thought it was fake when I first heard about it. So not too long ago, there were some poachers that killed a baby elephant. Killed the baby elephant, probably took the tusk, whatever. I'm not sure. But anyway, they have this saying. The saying is that elephants never forget. So apparently, I don't know if it was the father or the mother. I'm assuming it was the mother. The mother elephant saw what happened. I kid you not. This elephant found one of the poachers. I believe it was a woman. Murdered her, right? It was like a horrific scene. You got to think of like a giant elephant coming and murdering you. There's nothing you can do. So the woman is dead, right? They take her body, put it in a casket. They're about to have a funeral. This same elephant pops up at the funeral. I thought this was fake. Apparently it's true. This same elephant pops up at the funeral and takes the casket out of the ground and starts flinging the dead body because the animal was so enraged that this poacher took its child. That's crazy. Even the animals mourn when Esau is in power, when Esau is left to do what he wants to do unchecked. We don't do stuff like that. I know some people will say, well, you know, you kill animals to eat them. Yeah, that's a good thing to do, you know. But we don't abuse the animals. You look at these modern day farms, right? A lot of these animals, good night. The things that they do to these animals, they beat the cows, right? I found out that whenever they kill the cow while it's in shock so that the muscles can hold more blood inside of them so they can sell the meat for higher weight and make more of a profit off of it. We don't abuse the animals. They out here feeding cows hamburgers. I thought cows were vegetarians. Why are you feeding it itself? And don't even get me started on the pork. Pork is the cheapest meat that you can get. I wonder why. Because a lot of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives usually are in the middle to lower class. You have the, exceptions, of course, celebrities and whatnot, but usually middle working class, lower class, right? And we have families, we have people we have to take care of, wives to take care of, cousin, auntie, uncle, etc. So if you got a whole bunch of people to feed, you're probably going to get the cheapest meat there. And it's usually pork. It's usually shrimp, lobster, all that stuff, right? Well, not lobster. I believe that's kind of expensive, but it's unlawful regardless. My point being is whenever Esau is in power, whenever these heathens are in power, everybody suffers. It ain't even just us. The earth suffers because of who is in rulership today. So to understand why this is happening, we got to understand how we got there. So remember, the earth was promised to us. Remember, the Lord said that he was going to set us upon high above all nations, amongst everybody else. But now the thought of somebody that looks like me and this brother right here being in power, it's almost unrealistic to people. That just shows you what a lot of people actually think of you. When you tell people, imagine if Mexicans actually ruled over America right now and they were in power. People kind of scoff at it like, yeah, okay. a bunch of illegal immigrants. How are they illegal immigrants when this was their land in the first place? That doesn't even make any sense. The only illegal immigrants I know of are the Portuguese, the Spaniards, the French, the Dutch, the English, all these Europeans. Who told them to come here? You get my point? So we'll keep reading. So this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 3. For thus saith the Lord to the men of Judah and Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground and sow not among thorns. Circumcise yourselves to the Lord and take away the foreskins of your heart. Now, what does this mean? Circumcise yourself to the Lord, meaning attach yourself to the Lord. Listen to the Most High. Listen to the law, statutes, and commandments that were given unto us, right? And it says, and take away the foreskins of your heart. This can be synonymous with your flesh, right? I believe that there's a scripture that says, of your flesh there is no good thing. Because temptation, when you listen to your lust, I did a class on this last week, when you just think about lust, nothing good comes out of that. There's a lot of horny brothers out here who want to go buy a prostitute. And you go buy that prostitute who's probably been used and abused and God knows what, and you have sex with her. And then as soon as it's over, it's like you feel this regret, like, I can't believe I just did that, But you were craving sex so much, you didn't even listen to your own spirit. That gut feeling that you might get sometime, like, maybe I shouldn't do that. But then you do it anyway, and then you regret it, like, I can't believe I did this. That was your spirit telling you that this is wrong, okay? And it doesn't always have to be sexual, of course. It could be anything. There's nothing wrong with having money. But when you have to destroy your own soul, I believe that's in the book of Mark chapter 8, when you have to destroy your own soul to gain money, are you really living? You're feeding into your lust, because a lot of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives, again, lower working class, we don't get to have all these luxurious things. And as soon as we get a little bit of money, we want to spend it. Now there ain't nothing wrong, wearing some jewelry, looking a little fly or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's almost like that's the first thing we want to do. These white folk out here, they get some money, they want to invest, they want to buy land, all right? They're trying to find ways to build up their family. Us, we just want to buy a new chain. Y'all want to cop some new J's. You want to buy a nice car. You want to take some woman that you just met and probably don't even like you out to some fancy restaurant and feed her all types of unlawful crap, because I don't know what it is, but sisters love them seafood boils. Y'all love that stuff, right? Whole point being is when you got to destroy your own soul, your spirit, because you want to chase after flesh, you're not living. You're not living. You understand? So that's what the Lord means when he says, and take away the foreskins of your heart. Now let's keep reading. Ye men of Judah, not of everybody, but of Judah, and inhabitants of Jerusalem. And then just so we're clear, this isn't just talking about the tribe of Judah. Judah and Israel were split. Of course, we are all one, but Judah is also referred to as the southern tribes. Judah, of course, Benjamin, I believe Simeon was in the middle, right? And then, of course, you have the northern tribes. They'll refer to them as the 10 lost tribes. That is usually referred to as Israel. You read throughout the Bible, it'll say Judah and Israel, will be one again, right? But let's keep reading. Lest me fury come forth like fire and burn that none can quench it because of the evil of your doings. Now, again, we got to understand how we got here in the first place, because of the evil of our doings. I know, I get it. We blame Esau for everything, and rightfully so. We should, right? We blame the Chinese for certain things, for setting up shops in our neighborhoods and profiting off of us. Think about it. You go to like a nail salon or something for the sisters out there, and it's primarily Chinese women in there, Asian women, Filipino, etc. Right? Now, here's the thing with the Chinese. You can go, there's a Chinatown in every state, I swear. There's a Chinatown. They got, what is it, Little Tokyo in LA, right? My point being is when the Asians, when they come to America, yes, they might dip and dabble in, other pieces of culture and stuff, but they never lose their identity. They still try to keep it in-house. They still try to marry amongst themselves. They still tie into their culture. They might learn English, but they can still speak Chinese. They can still speak Japanese. They can still speak Korean. I forgot the language that Filipinos speak, but they can still speak their native language. My point being is They never forget who they are. They still are intact. Us, on the other hand, no. The average so-called Black or Latino speaks two languages, max, English and Spanish. And English and Spanish are both European languages. What's your native language? I'll tell you what it is. It's the Lashawan Kodash. It's the Hebrew, right? Which means, it's holy tongue. This is our actual language. But nobody speaks it. Nobody speaks it. I can't go down the street right now and go see another brother and just speak fluent Hebrew to him, and he's going to understand it, and he's going to be able to talk it back to me. You can't see that here because they don't know. Your identity was taken away from you. For all my Latino brothers and sisters out there, for whatever reason, you swear that you're a Spaniard. Well, some of them might be because, the Spaniards came in and we know you are who your father is. So it's because you have dark skin doesn't necessarily mean that you're a brother or sister. But for the real Latinos and natives out there who speak Spanish and take pride in it, why do you really take pride in it? Because that is the language of your ancestors, oppressors who came to North America, Central America, and South America. That's why you see a bunch of Brazilians that speak Portuguese. That's a European language. A lot of natives don't speak their native tongue. You might find some tribes here and there, but the majority, no. A majority don't even identify as native. They just say I'm Latino. That's it. And what is a Latino? A Latino is not even a race of people. That's an ethnicity. Anybody could be a Latino. That's like me saying I'm American. If I was born in South America, I would say that I'm Afro-Latino. It means nothing. My point being is we got here because of the evil of our doings. Remember what happened when Aaron and Moses were sent to get the children of Israel out of Egypt? They did their job. And what did we do? We complained. I believe there's a scripture, if I'm not mistaken. It might be in the Apocrypha, actually. But when we were getting saved, somebody said, I'd rather go back to Egypt. Now you got to think, what did the Lord do for us? Got us up out of Egypt, got us up out of bondage, turned the sea red, made all types of plagues happen, swarms of locusts, flies. There were people catching boils. The firstborn of all the Egyptians were dying. Egypt was literally suffering. Egypt's desolate now. Like you see Egypt today, it looks nothing like how it used to. It looks absolutely nothing like how it used to. It's a tourist attraction at best. You've been reduced to a land where people get to see your ancestors' dead bodies. You're a museum now. The Lord did that for you, for me, for you, for all of us. And what did we do? Disobey. We pissed off Aaron so much that we but we persuaded him and got on his nerves so much that he disobeyed the Most High. And what did he do? He made a golden calf out of all of the jewelry that we had, and we started worshiping the golden calf because apparently the Most High power wasn't good enough for us. We needed a physical object to worship. So there was that. Moses got so pissed off that all he had to do was speak to a rock, and then water was going to flow out, just to prove that the Most High is real, to prove to the ignorant children of Israel that the Most High is real. What did Moses do? You know what Moses did? When he spoke to the rock, what did he actually do? You said what? What did he actually do to the rock, though? Did he speak to it?
Oh, he basically touched it with the staff.
So he broke it.
Yeah.
Now, was he supposed to do that, though?
No, not at all.
Yeah, he was supposed to speak to it. When he struck it, this is the problem with this. Because he struck the rock, we didn't look at it as, oh, that's the Most High giving us water. We looked at that as, oh, that was Moses giving us water. So we gave glory to Moses, not the Most High. And the Most High was so angry, he pulled Moses aside. And he told Moses, I'm about to kill all of them, and I'm about to make a great nation solely out of you. But Moses, being the righteous brother that he was, he chose to not do that. And he still wanted the Most High to spare us, even throughout all that, even throughout all us being ungrateful. Still decided to do it. You got to understand, we have another thing. We have 12 tribes. of beautiful women, man. All these other women out here want to be like our women. I cannot stress that enough. You see why all these white women out here getting all these spray tans and what is it, the lip fillers and the Brazilian butt lifts and breast implants, and it ain't just them. A lot of Asians are doing it, and now, of course, there's a lot of sisters that are now doing it too because they're not comfortable with their own body because they think that you getting a big butt is you gonna keep a man when it's really not. You look crazy as hell. Stop doing that. The whole thing is though, these women want to look like you. They want to look like you. They gotta think about it. They gotta pay to look like you. Don't you think that's kind of crazy? Why am I saying this? Because we have all these tribes, 10 tribes of beautiful sisters, and for some odd reason, even in the Bible, brothers still crave heathen women. You would rather go sleep with a flat-back Asian woman than to go get you a nice dark-skinned sister. Instead of getting a black woman, you'd rather go get a Filipino woman. Instead of you going to get a Colombian woman, you'd rather go sleep with a Japanese woman. Instead of you go getting a Puerto Rican woman, you'd rather go sleep with a white woman. Why? You can read all throughout the accounts of what happens when brothers start messing with heathen women. The Lord put a plague on us during that time when we were messing around with the Midianites and the Moabite women, right? And a brother had to throw a staff through a brother and the heathen woman in a tent while they were getting it on and cracking. Just to end all of it. And then the curse went away. King Solomon, we already know about Solomon. He was a great brother, one of the wisest brothers, but sadly he fell down too because he was messing around with heathen women. And that's important because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not Solomon. I'm not Solomon. I'm not half as wise as Solomon. So if Solomon can fall to heathen women, what makes you think you can? I know there's a lot of fake Israelite groups out there that will tell you that it is okay to sleep with a woman and marry a woman. Well, sex is marriage, but to be with a woman of a different nation. And they'll tell you that as long as she worships the Most High, then you're fine, which is a lie. Because when you look at what a strange woman is, you got a Blue Letter Bible? It's an app. You can just download it on your phone. You got it? Okay. So if you look up the term strange woman, it'll actually pop up as there's a couple of definitions, but one of them is a foreign woman. Now, to be foreign means we're not the same. Like if we go to, I'm trying to think. Okay, let's say me and you take a trip to Japan. We would be foreigners to them because they know that we're not the same as them, right? So when you sleep with a strange woman, that is a foreign woman. It don't matter if she know about the Most High. She is not of your nation. I believe it's Tobit chapter 4, verse 12, where it says you are supposed to take a woman of the seed of thy fathers, meaning your women. Let them have their women. Leave them alone, okay? We got ours. I get it, brothers. Our women are destroyed. You destroyed too, all right? So if you want to fix them, you got to fix yourself first. Moving on with all of this. We've done all these wicked, horrible things, and now we are in the condition that we are in today. Now, you got to think maybe a couple thousand years ago, we would have had a temple way better than this. Probably would have had gold, silver, all over the place, right? Altar, much more glorious. But now, this is what we have right now. We live in the ghettos. We live in the barrios. We live in on reservations. This is the state of our people now. And as much as we blame Esau for everything, and as we should, we also have to take accountability for our actions as well. Okay? You can't sit here, let's say you're a father or a mother, you have kids. You can't sit here and be upset that your daughter turns out to be a whore when she gets older if you're letting her dress promiscuous and letting her have boys over, or you as a father, you're setting a bad example by having different women in and out of your house all the time, and your daughter sees that. Kids watch you. Kids watch you. Kids subconsciously, when they get older, they get, I'll say, a partner who is similar or has similar characteristics to their parents, whether it be good or bad. If a brother grows up with a toxic mother who's abusive and, doesn't know how to keep her hands to herself, or she's a whore herself, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, that young man will grow up. And now this is the type of woman that he has been exposed to his whole life. What kind of women do you think that brother is going to deal with when he gets older? He's going to deal with a woman that's just like his mom. And it ain't going to end well. Some brothers are strong enough to break out of it, most high in Christ. But the average, no. And vice versa. If anything, I think it's worse for sisters, to be honest. So, moving on with all this, right? Let's see. We'll go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 5. Now it says, declare ye in Judah, and publish in Jerusalem, and say, blow ye the trumpet in the land. Cry together, cry, gather together and say, assemble yourselves, and let us go in the defense cities. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to skip that. We're going to go to, I believe it is, we're going to start at verse 22. Verse 22. And it says right here, actually, no, verse 20, Salakia, verse 20. And it says, destruction upon destruction is cried, for the whole land is spoiled. Suddenly are my tents spoiled, and my curtains in a moment. How long shall I see the standard and hear the sound of the trumpet? For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children. They have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. This sounds like an angry father cussing out his kids. Yeah, remember, we are the Most High's children. We are the chosen people. And the Most High has been very patient with us. But just like anything else, like if you got kids, if your kids keep disobeying, your patience starts to wear thin. All right? That's what starts to happen. Now, a good parent, if your child is doing bad things, you correct them. Let's say you got a kid, right? Son, daughter, it doesn't matter. And they're just acting up at school all the time, getting into fights, being rude, disrespectful, whatever, right? And you're teaching them to not do these things, but they just keep disobeying you. But then they turn around and say, hey, Dad, can I get the new PS5? A good parent will be like, hell no. You get no PS5. What did you do to deserve a reward? That's how you got to think of it. We pray to the Most High all the time. That's how you know we God's chosen people, because I've bumped into atheists, brothers and sisters who are atheists. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God until something bad happened to you, or you start praying real quick. God don't hear you. Why should he? You've disobeyed him from birth, and now you need something. It's funny that you only want to speak to the Most High when you need something. That's selfish. After everything, he's allowing you to breathe right now. But you only want to acknowledge him when you need something. That's the problem with our people. That's why the Most High said right here, I'm going to read it one more time. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. That's all we knew how to do. And it still happens today. That's why we're so destroyed. All these other nations, not to say they don't have their own problems, but as a nation, Japan's doing just fine. Pretty sure they got their own problems, but they know who they are. They have their culture. They have their language. They are their own people. The Chinese, same thing. Ukraine, same thing. All the Europeans, same thing. Italy, France, same thing. Korea, I know Korea crazy, but they got their own people. They know who they are. They were never stripped of their heritage, despite, I guess you could say, evolving throughout modern times. They know who they are. We don't. We don't even speak our native language. We speak the white man's language. You understand? That's because we've been disobedient, and the Most High has cursed us. And until we learn to be obedient, we're always going to be cursed. It's just how it is. Other people are going to profit off of us all the time. You see it all the time, like all these models and stuff. The most beautiful ones are sisters. And you got these white women that's trying to look like them. But now they have our women parading around half butt naked for everybody else to see. It's like an anomaly to them. You understand? That's what we've been reduced to now. You are somebody's art project, sis. You are something to gawk and sexualize and fantasize about for a bunch of perverted old white men. That's what you are now. Brothers, forget about it. Nobody likes us unless we singing, dancing, rapping, acting, being an entertainer. You understand? Then you're important. Travis Scott and Chris Brown and Drake and all them, they're important. Don't nobody give a damn about a black firefighter or a Hispanic firefighter. They actually save people. What Lil Wayne do to save somebody? What Drake do to save somebody? What YG and Tyga? My goodness. Those dudes dressed up as women. My gosh. Man, you seen that? Man. But those supposed to be some real thugs right there. They supposed to be, the OGs. They supposed to be what a black man is supposed to be. I don't want to be that. It's so bad now, I'm seeing over the internet, women are questioning. They said, where are the masculine men at? Like, where they at? Because it seems like when brothers want to get a little bit of money, remember how I said before, if you're willing to destroy your own soul to get money, you'll do anything. These brothers were, dare I even say brothers anymore, they're pretty much drag queens now because they want money. They're rich. And that's the funny thing. They have money. They're rich. But it ain't enough. It's not enough. The money, the sex, the cars, the clothes, the women, all that stuff, it ain't enough. They got to keep digging a little lower to get more. That is destroyed. You are a wonder to the world. Don't believe me? Found this out a couple years ago in Japan. They have Chicano culture in Japan, where they wear the, like how the Mexicans do. They have high tube socks with the flannels. They got all the tattoos and piercings, and they shave their head bald to look like the stereotypical Chicano. And it's funny because it's like, damn, how you copying somebody's culture from way over there? Because you're entertaining to them. But ain't no Japanese person gonna come over here and help you. They'll copy you, but they won't help you. They're not gonna help you in your time of need. Absolutely not, but they'll definitely copy you. What was it, the Koreans? I know somebody tried to say that the Koreans, they have like the best fried chicken in the world. And then a Korean actually said that, oh, well, we got that recipe from a black man that moved to Korea. Of course you did. Everybody likes us. Everybody, what that saying is, everybody want to be black until it's time to be black. This is my point right here. So everybody else profits off of your talents, but we don't. Why do we have to entertain other people to make a profit? All this money, if money was the only issue, I mean, it would have been fixed a long time ago. We got plenty of people that got money. Nah, it's deeper than that. Your spirit is wicked as hell. You don't serve the Most High. You don't do anything for your people. You don't do anything for your families. You understand? Because you're destroyed. Now, let's keep going real quick. Verse 23. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 23. I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void, and the heavens, and they had no light. I beheld the mountains, and lo, they trembled, and all the hills moved lightly. I beheld, and lo, there was no man, and all the birds of the heavens were fled. I beheld, and lo, the fruitful place was a wilderness, and all the cities thereof were broken down at the presence of the Lord, and by his fierce anger. For thus hath the Lord said, the whole land shall be desolate, yet will I not make a full end. For this the earth mourn. I'll say it one more time. For this shall the earth mourn, and the heavens above be black, because I have spoken it, I have proposed it, and will not repent, neither will I turn back from it. The Most High is pissed. He's been pissed for a very long time. You understand? People like to say, this one might be kind of a touchy one. people might say, okay, well, that's Satan. You know what I'm saying? Like, when something bad happens, yeah, odds are it probably is Satan. But you got to understand that the Most High, it says in the Bible that the Most High can be great, but he can also be terrible. Remember, the Most High flooded the earth because of interracial marriage. Let that sink in. It says that the daughters of men were with the men of God. Now, this is pre-Israelites, you understand? But at that time, there was still a certain lineage of people who the Most High chose. When it says the daughters of men, what it's saying is these are heathen women. These are women who are not of God. And of course, what did these brothers do? Take them as wives. Practice heathen culture. That's another thing that happens. Brothers always want to find a way to have some type of interracial marriage. I don't understand why. Really, it's Satan. But my thing is, when brothers try to take a heathen woman, you know how difficult it is for you to remain in your actual culture? It's damn near impossible. You want to know why? Because in her spirit, she knows that she is not you. She might be attracted to you. It's another thing brothers got to stop doing. Just because I know it's probably going to break your hearts, but just because a woman wants to have sex with you don't mean she love you. There's plenty of women that lust after us. I know I talk about how brothers lust after women. It's vice versa too. Trust me, I've seen it. I've been to other countries and stuff, and they look at brothers like, oh my gosh, like they damn near drop at the jaw because they want to have sex with you. They fetishize you. That don't mean she love you. And half the time, they really getting with you because they want to come to America. Just being real. I've seen it plenty of times. My point being is, what a lot of brothers do is you start to want to please that woman by adopting her culture. Perfect example. There was a Jamaican brother I knew, Benjamite. He had a Japanese wife. And because he had a Japanese wife, he started partaking in Japanese culture. He learned how to speak Japanese. I believe he got married in Japan, like the traditional Japanese wedding. I'm not sure what it is, but her culture, they have kids. Now, their kids are, America would say that they're biracial. Really, they're still Benjamites, but they don't know that. And now their mother is introducing them to more heathen culture, which they are not supposed to do. You see how it all trickles down? And that brother, when I knew him, he was going through it with so much stuff. And that's because he was messing with a heathen woman. You understand? The earth is mourning because we are not in charge and we have been disobedient. So I'm gonna drop that real quick, right? Actually, could you give me, you got a Bible with you?
Yep.
If you could you read me, let's go to Genesis chapter 27. Genesis chapter 27, verse 38. Just let me know when you got it. All right, if you could read it for me real quick.
And Esau said unto his father,
Mm-hmm.
Hast thou not but one blessing,
Mm-hmm.
my father?
Mm-hmm.
Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live.
It says by the what?
The sword.
By the sword shall he what?
Live.
Shall he live? Okay, so now quick breakdown real quick. This is during the time when Isaac was given the blessing to Jacob and Esau. Now, for just a quick recap of how this happened, and for anybody who doesn't know, it was already prophesied that the older shall serve the younger. Who was born first? It was Esau. They were twins though, but of course, one has to come out first. So now, Esau came out first, which means that he would be the older, then Jacob. So it says that the older shall serve the younger, meaning that the younger one is supposed to be the one that is going to get the blessing, the inheritance. Now, Isaac did not know this, of course. And as a traditional father, usually you would give your inheritance to your firstborn. It's just usually how it goes. It's just, they're the oldest, That's your first baby boy, so you want to make sure he's good. You want to pass on the legacy. So his intentions were to originally give the blessings to Esau. However, the Most High had other plans, and their mother Rebekah followed this, and she told Jacob to, I believe, go to his father and give him the slab of meat. I believe it was veal or a kid of a goat. Long story short, Jacob ended up being the one that got the blessing. And now some people, if you read that account, will say, well, that was kind of shady because it seems like Jacob kind of tricked his father to giving him the blessing. Oh, no, no, no. Because when you actually read it, if you actually read it, Jacob goes up to Esau and he straight up asked him, can I get the blessing? Esau did not fight back. He said, yeah. He said Esau was hungry and he gave over his birthright for a slab of meat because he was hungry. Now, you could take a lot of things from that. For one, that showed the nature of Esau. Esau did not really care about the blessing. You understand? For all those people out there who y'all just want to save Esau so bad, in their nature, they don't even want to be saved. They really don't. Some will say they do. They really don't. They really don't. Because even when they're in power right now, they destroy. That's why I said he shall live by the sword. Because Esau is good at killing. I'll give him that. Esau good at killing. Well, how can I explain it? For you to live by the sword, right? You got to be a certain kind of person to make nuclear bombs, to bomb somebody. The Hiroshima bombing, to commit mass genocide on the Native American Indians, right? To put us on slave ships. A lot of people think it was just black people. Oh, no, it was the Taino and Arawak Indians as well. And they shipped them all over. They used to kill off Native men and, oh my gosh, kidnap the women, put them on slave ships, take turns sexually assaulting them and shipping them off to different countries all over the Caribbean and whatnot. That's why a lot of natives lost their culture because it was destroyed. You got to be a certain kind of person to make animals go extinct. What's that movie called? What's that movie called? Rio? It's like a little cartoon movie or whatever. It had I forgot, it's the blue something. It's a bird. Yeah. That bird is extinct. That bird does not exist. So when you have kids and they watch Rio and they ask, hey, mommy, hey, daddy, what bird is that? Can we go see that? You're going to have to tell them no. That bird is dead. There is no more. Like, really, let that sink in real quick. An entire species of an animal is gone. And it ain't the first. I think there's all of maybe 2 polar bears left. I don't know. They hanging on for dear life. You understand? I believe it was the dodo bird. Some people think the dodo bird was a myth. The dodo bird was a real bird. It's just extinct now. It's extinct because they hunted to extinction. I believe it's the black or the white rhino. That thing is about to be extinct because poachers hunted to extinction for the ivory in its horn. Because that's all Esau knows how to do is kill, which is why Esau cannot be in power. He is in power right now, but he's not supposed to be in power. This was never the intention. But because we kept being disobedient, well, seems like the older brother should be the one in charge, huh? And now look what's going on. I'm gonna tell you how wicked this world is real quick. I came across this. It was a brother in a school. He showed this on Facebook. I had to read into it because it was just crazy. So, in Brazil, there was a man. I think I still got his name. It was Giovanni Quintea Bezerra in Brazil, right? He looks like an Edomite. Could be not. But it's just about being wicked. This is a doctor. Need I remind you? This doctor was exhibiting very strange behavior around his colleagues. So his colleagues ended up putting a camera while he was performing a C-section on a woman. While he was performing the C-section, this pregnant woman, as she was not pushing out, but giving birth to a child, she's heavily sedated, right? Do you want to know what this doctor does? This doctor pulls down his pants on this drugged up woman while she's giving birth, somebody else's woman on top of that, and starts to insert his rod inside of her mouth so that she can give him oral sex. She's sedated. Need I remind you, she can't move. Know what I'm saying? Y'all heard the term date rape? Well, now there's C-section rape, apparently. And this isn't the first time he's done it, of course. Apparently, they have it recorded, not recorded, but it's been rumored that he did it 3 times. 3 times. You mean to tell me that now brothers have to be careful of their women going to the hospital to get a C-section or just giving birth in general? Because that same doctor told her, I don't know if it was boyfriend, husband, whoever, the father of the child, that he has to exit the room for a little bit so that he couldn't be there to see what was happening. Luckily, the colleagues caught on and got him on camera. This man was sexually assaulting sedated pregnant women while giving birth. Do you do you understand how disgusting of a person you have to be to do something like that? When I read it, I was like, bro, there's no way. There's no way. I read all the articles and I'm just like, this is real. This is real. So I posted it on my TikTok and stuff, started talking about it. And it was so sad because people are in my comment section. They're like, hey, bro, you know what's crazy? That's not the first time I've heard of stuff like that. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So now you got to be careful of doctors. So this, look, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I don't have no degrees, but I will, as a brother, I will tell all my brothers and my sisters this much. Be careful. Okay. For any brothers, just some advice. When you bring your woman over there and she's getting a C-section or she's giving birth, stay in there. Me personally, I don't give a damn what the doctors say. I don't give a damn. Lord allow it, I have children in the future. I'm not leaving. I'm going to be there. She might get cut open and stuff because of the C-section. I'm probably going to be grossed the hell out. But I'm going to be there to make sure that some sick-ass doctor isn't trying to sexually assault my wife as she's giving birth to my child. That's the kind of world we live in today. This is what happens when the land is given unto the wicked. Matter of fact, if I could, I'm going to have you go to another precept real quick. Let me see. Could I get, let me see. Give me 1 second. Should have it in here. Let me get, let me see. Let me get Job chapter 9, verse 24.
Job chapter 9, verse 24.
Go ahead.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where? And who is he? Now my days are swifter than a post.
You could drop it right there. Could you read it from the top one more time, Baba Kasha?
The earth is given, Job 9 and 24.
Mm-hmm.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked.
Of the who?
Wicked.
Keep going.
He covered the face of the judges thereof.
Mm-hmm.
If not, where?
Mm-hmm.
And who is he?
And who is he? Who is he? The land has been given unto the wicked. If not he, then who? Who is the most wicked being on the planet? I know some people like to say, well, human beings could be evil. You're right. Yeah, absolutely correct. Israelites can be evil. We just read it in the Bible. Just so we're clear, right? Just because you're an Israelite don't mean you're a good person, right? But because you're an Israelite, you are a blessed being and you serve a higher power and you are supposed to not be evil. Nobody else was given the law but us. Christians like to say, well, God loves everybody and, the commandments are given to everybody. Oh, this is another one real quick. If I could break this down real quick. This is slightly off topic, but I can get this real quick. Can I get Galatians chapter 3, verse 28? And I'm going to read something out real quick. Chapter 3, verse 28.
Galatians chapter 3, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
There is neither Greek nor Jew.
Mm-hmm.
There is neither bond nor free.
Mm-hmm.
There is neither male nor female. For all ye are all one in Christ Jesus.
Now, this is a Christian's favorite scripture. I cannot stress how many times I've had to battle people on this scripture. They always try to use this, right? Because in the Bible, you'll see a word, Gentiles, right? Now, usually, when you see the word Gentiles, it's referring to who? People of other nations, non-Israelites, right? However, key word, this is one of the things about the truth. You got to dig a little deeper into that reading comprehension in a sense. Usually, do I have a Zondervan's? I don't have a Zondervan's with me. But usually it means someone of another nation, but not all the time. When it says neither Jew nor Greek, what they're not telling you is there were Hellenized Jews. Me and you are Hellenized Jews. I'm going to tell you why. Where do we live right now? We live in America. Now, when people think of American, what do they usually think of race-wise? White. White, right? Now, let me ask you something, brother. Are we white? No, we're not Caucasian. But when I went to other countries, I actually went to European countries. I went to Italy, I went to France, right? You know what they call us? When they see me and you, brother, they're not going to call us black. They don't call us African American. They don't call us Negro. They don't call us anything. They call us American. Simple. They call you American. Why? Because that is your nationality. When it says neither Jew nor Greek, if you look, matter of fact, let me see if I can get it real quick. I might be able to just find it real quick. I can never find it when I need to. Here we go, right here. So if you look at the definition, it'll say Grecian. Now, what does it mean by Grecian? A native of Greece, also a Jew who understood Greek. When it says neither Jew nor Greek, there were Israelites that knew that they were Israelites, but then you had Grecian Israelites, Hellenized Israelites, Greek Jews. The problem was we were split. That's why Cornelius was there to unite us in the book of Acts. So when it speaks of the Gentiles in some context, it's not talking about people of another nation. It's talking about the Jews, brothers and sisters who lived in a different country. So like how we live in America, let's say all our other brothers and sisters were in, let's just say South America, right? They all knew that they were Israelites. They practiced the customs, the traditions. But me and you, let's just say we some lost brothers in the world. We would be looked at as Gentiles because we adopted the Gentile customs. You see what I'm saying? Christians won't tell you that. They'll use that scripture and make it seem like, well, you know, it says ye all are one in Christ, right? All nations. God loves everybody. Nope. You got to dig a little deeper than that. Your Christian pastor won't tell you that. And they won't tell you that because they want to save Esau. They love white women. They love Chinese women. They like shrimp, crab, and lobster. They themselves, they are a Gentile in spirit. Not by race. They might be a brother, but not a brother in spirit. Your Christian pastor is not a brother in spirit. He is a Gentile in spirit because he practices heathen customs. The average brother and sister here, we are American because we practice American customs, birthdays, holidays, Halloween, New Year's, right? Getting tattoos, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes. That is the typical American custom. You get my point? They won't tell you that. And they won't tell you that because Esau won't tell you that because he knows. Esau studied us. People don't understand that. Esau studied us. A lot of people like to say, well, natives can't possibly be Israelites. This is another thing that fake Israelites will say. Natives and Latinos can't be Israelites because they're not black. First and foremost, let me educate y'all on something. Black is a racist term that Europeans use to describe a certain kind of people. No one in here is literally black. Yeah, we come in many different shades, but no one in here is black. I'm brown, you're brown, right? People will say even copper colored sometimes. If I get a penny right now and put it to my skin, I'm the same complexion as that thing. And the only reason I'm as dark as I am now is because you're in the sun. A lot of people also won't tell you that when the conquistadors came to the Americas, they called native indigenous people black. They called them negros, negros de terra in South America, which means blacks of the land. Called them copper colored, call them red. But honestly, none of those colors matter because it says in the book of Jeremiah, I believe it's chapter 12, verse 9, my heritage is made unto me as a speckled bird. So when you look at speckled bird, when you go into the Blue Letter Bible, it is another word that's synonymous with it. It's called variegated. Variegated means something of many colors. So we can be any shade, right? And Israel mixed in with a lot of different nations for thousands of years. You're going to look different. Perfect example, if I wouldn't, but let's just say hypothetically, I was a brother in the world and I procreated with pick somebody. Let's say like a Samoan woman. So we're clear, Samoans are not Israelites. Let's just say I procreated with her, right? My child is going to come out looking a little different. He might, or she might have some resemblance, but they're going to look a little different. Now, let's say let's say I have a son, he gets with a Samoan woman. And then they have a kid. And then my grandson gets with a Samoan woman. You think my great grandchild is going to look like me? No. It's genetics. They're going to look different. They like to say, well, a lot of natives look Asian. You do know that we mixed in with Moabites, right? We mixed in with Moabites. Let's be real right now, okay? So you can't just use DNA enough. But I can use history against you because Christopher Columbus came to the Americas. They don't tell you this. He had a Hebrew translator. Now, you come from Europe. Off rip, you're going to speak a European language. Off rip, they speak Spanish. They speak English. I believe they also spoke Arabic. If you're traveling to a different country with a whole bunch of native indigenous people, they don't speak Spanish. They don't speak English. They've never been introduced, throughout history anyway, they've never been introduced to a European. So they're off rip, they're not speaking any European language. They damn sure ain't speaking Arabic. So how is it that they were able to communicate with the natives? The only other language they had was Hebrew. People won't tell you there were Hebrew artifacts that were found in Connecticut. There were Hebrew artifacts found in Mexico. There were Hebrew artifacts, I believe, found in Puerto Rico. And then people find and be like, oh, no, that's fake. No, it ain't. I'm looking at it right now. That is the same symbol that's in this book. That's Hebrew. Okay? So my thing is how to get there. Because the only people I know that were here first were the natives. So you mean to tell me that natives were hiding a bunch of Hebrew artifacts? And you took a Hebrew interpreter in order to communicate with them? They studied natives and black people together and found out that we have very similar customs, that we both valued family. The man was usually the one at the head of the household. Another thing they don't say about natives, there was a lot of native brothers that had multiple wives. They don't tell you that. They also don't tell you that they wrote of them and came here to study if they were the Israelites. For those of y'all who don't know, preaching officer of 5,000 Kazakh Yad, he's a Mexican brother, tribe of Issachar. He gets deep into the history, real deep into the history. And he told me, I got to find the book. I got to talk to him. There's a book of a Spanish journalist, and he wrote of the natives, and he found out that they were Israelites. Quote, don't correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if he'll see this video. You can talk to him about it. But as he was writing about it and he was revealing information about them, the other Europeans, they killed him because he was bringing out too much information, same way they did Hitler. Hitler straight up said that the Americas have the real Jews, the Negroes. They are the jewels of God. And he already knew once I bring that out, oh, they gonna kill me. Because he was killing all the fake Jewish people. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't give a damn about the Holocaust because those aren't my people. Because while the Holocaust was still going on, did you know that they were still killing black people in Germany? They were sterilizing young black boys and killing them. I feel for those brothers. I don't care about the Holocaust. It was such a horrible thing. No, what was horrible was, I believe it was about 6 or 7 million Jewish people that died during the Holocaust. That's nothing compared to the 99 million, damn near 100 million Native Americans who were killed during a mass genocide. It don't even match up. You don't even scale to the competition. Not even close. Okay? So that's just to paint a picture of how evil Esau is. General Muhammad said it best. If the white man ain't got nothing to kill, he'll kill himself. And that's a fact. Why you think all these why you think there was so many Edomite women getting mad because now they're trying to ban abortion? The real reason they're banning abortion is not what you think it is. I mean, Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shai, thank the Most High for that because they are starting to ban abortion. Great, because you're killing us enough as it is. We need to have kids. I don't know about y'all, okay? We need to have kids. The reason why they're banning abortion is because the white population is going down. And it's been going down over the course of the last 10 years. There was an article, I believe, September 9th, 2021, where it was talking about that. And there was an uprising of, they call it the browning of America. And I believe it was 3 million in total of an uprise of a population for so-called African Americans over the span of 10 years. For so-called Latinos and Hispanics, it was an uprising of about 10 million over the last 10 years. Our numbers are rising, but their numbers are going down. White women ain't fertile anyway, to be honest with you. Okay, their recovery time is slower. Their birth rates are not as high of a succession as so-called black and brown women. Okay, I know. I trust me. I hate the stereotype too, but there is a little bit of truth behind it when they say black and brown women can just pop out babies. Them sisters just recover fast. Caucasian women, not so much. Okay, and on top of that, they practice homosexuality, lesbianism. Half of them don't even want to be with a man anyway, because that's just their nature. They're just all over the place. They have no law to abide by. So put all that together, yeah, of course the Caucasian race is going to go down. Constance, I hear you. It's going to go down. So now it's a problem. And just recently, it was on TV, but it was I don't know her name, some Caucasian lady, and she was happy that they were starting to ban abortion because she said that this is a win for white life. Because deep down in their spirit, they know, like, yes, they're starting to ban abortion because too many of us are dying. They're dying. That's the Lord. That's the Lord. Okay, and that's been prophesied. You got an apocrypha with you? Can I get 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, please?
2 Ezra chapter 6,
Mm-hmm.
verse 9.
Go ahead.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob the beginning of it that followeth.
Now that followeth. So that means that, okay, us so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives, there is going to be a time where we rule. But before that happens, Esau has to fall. Now, here's the thing. The Most High is not a genie. He's not just going to snap his fingers and then just do away with all the destruction. No, it's going to take time. And if you pay attention to what's going on, it's already happening. Over the past, I want to say just 2 years alone. I mean, just look at what's happened. COVID is still going on. I don't know if anybody knows that. It's not on the news like that anymore, but COVID is still going on. We still get reports at my job. One of my bosses, he just had COVID. And the virus is still going on. It hasn't gone away. You understand? People are still getting sick. I don't know the mortality rate, so I'm not going to get into that. But I do know it was a lot higher before, right? The Monkey Pox, you understand? Ukraine and Russia and China, The world is, they make joke. You said what? Yeah, that's an excellent analogy. Yeah, it's like labor pains. It's just gonna keep building up, right? They make jokes at my job. They say, "Man, the world is coming to an end, huh?" And I just kind of laugh at it, like, you're right. It is ending. Not in the way you think it is, but it's definitely ending. It's just like in the times of Egypt. The Most High didn't just wipe away Egypt altogether. Nah, it was bit by bit, right? You don't want to give up the children of Israel? No sweat. The entire ocean is going to be blood. Everything that you have that's water, blood. It's not good enough for you? Okay. Swarm of flies, swarm of frogs, swarm of locusts. That's not good enough for you? Okay, I'm going to start killing off your cattle. Still not good enough for you? Boils from head to toe. I've seen boils. Them things look crazy. Now imagine them from head to toe and you're trying to walk, trying to sit down, lay down. It's not going to be very comfortable. Still not good enough for you. Okay, we're going to kill off your firstborns. You see how the Most High systematically started to break down Egypt? He's doing it again. It's just now he's doing it to America. Slowly destroying America just a little bit, right? Now you're probably wondering, okay, well, what does that have to do with us? The Most High is going to do his job. Now you have to do your job. You have to prove to the Most High that you are deserving of this. Because I know Esau dying, but there's still plenty of brothers and sisters that are dying out there in the streets too. You understand? Because they're still wicked. They're still wicked, okay? There's a scripture, can't remember off the top of my head, I'm paraphrasing, but long story short, it says that the Most High does not take pleasure in killing us, right? Because we're still his children. You understand? He doesn't enjoy killing us, but it's like a virus. General Muhammad talked about this not that long ago, right? Let me put it to you like this. Let's say you have a brother who is a serial rapist. Now, he's a brother to us by flesh, but definitely not in spirit. Now, the Most High is going to give you some chances, right? But let's just say this brother is just disgusting. He is out here doing stuff like how that Brazilian doctor did, right? And he keeps doing it. Here's the thing. When you sexually assault somebody, you don't just sexually assault them. Their mind is altered, okay? You got to think, you took advantage of them. You took something from them. For a woman, the average woman ain't going to be able to fight you off unless she got a weapon, right? You took her sense of security away. Women like to feel safe, right? And you, especially you as a brother, you're supposed to provide that safety to them. You're supposed to be a leader to them. So now, if you sexually assault a woman, not only are you destroying the image of yourself, because she's like, our women are supposed to look at us like this is my leader, this is my protector, this is a strong black man, a strong Latino man, something like that. So off rip, you're destroying that. Now she's gonna fear you, not just you. She might fear you. She might fear me. We probably never even met this sister, but now her image of a brother is destroyed. She no longer looks at us as someone who can provide safety, but someone who's going to destroy her. So now what that starts to do is that spirit is now on her. And Lord knows what's going to happen with that spirit. She might become a lesbian. I've seen it. I have met sisters who were sexually assaulted by men and then become a lesbian after because they're afraid of men. So they go with women instead. So now you just made that woman a homosexual. Let's just say she becomes angry, right? This might sound crazy. She might become a rapist. I've heard of stories of that. A woman gets sexually assaulted, so then she starts sexually assaulting little boys and girls because she wants the power that was taken away from her. She might become domestically violent because she's scared. She might get into a relationship with a brother, and again, she's supposed to look at you for safety, but something in the back of her mind, that demon that's been on her, is he might take advantage of me. I don't want that to happen again. So she might become violent. She might become an alcoholic. to numb the pain away. That happens too. Now, here's the thing. That brother is the virus. When he sexually assaults these people, he's spreading the virus. So sometimes you got to get rid of the virus. And sometimes the Most High will do that. Like, you know what? I can't allow for you to harm the rest of your family. So I got to get rid of you. But the Most High does not take pleasure in it because he knows you got a demon on you. Who knows? Something probably happened to you to become like that. You get what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to get rid of the source. That's not me saying that. That's how the Most High works sometimes. To save you, to save your children. Because if this brother doesn't die or goes to jail, he might get at your daughter or you even. You get my point? But that's the type of world that we you get my point? Like that's the world that we live in now, right? And it's sad. It's sad. I mean, I could open the door right now and look at San Bernardino. Last time I did class, there was a police chase outside. Just right outside. You go outside, there's a crackhead. That's the state of our people now because the earth has been given unto the hands of the wicked. And the thing is, we're not even the only ones that's suffering. Everybody suffers. Everybody. They're heathens. They are other nations, but even they suffer. The Hiroshima bombing. Okay. They got Chinese kids in sweatshops. You understand? I found out the Edomites, they're starting to invade the Pacific Islands now. Now they're trying to get at the Polynesians. And it's funny because even the heathens will say, I can't stand them. And I'm like, oh, well, I can't stand them neither. That's why my people need to be in rulership, because when we're in rulership, we ain't gonna be doing all this crazy stuff. You know, the Polynesians, they'll be over here doing their thing. You know, y'all be good. Chinese be over here. Japanese be over here. You know, y'all will do y'all thing. We ain't gonna bother y'all. As long as y'all don't bother us. Don't come against us. But the world will not be in mourning anymore. Animals are not going to have to worry about being extinct. There was a brother I seen on Facebook. He had a dawada in the middle of his yard, and it was like a baby deer just came by and just sat right there. And, you know, we're all cracking jokes a little bit, but low-key we were a little serious. We're just like, that animal in its spirit knew that there was peace there. That's why it did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the nature itself can sense when there's peace there. But we ain't in peace right now because we live in a wicked world. All right? So wicked that you got to be careful of your woman even giving birth. And that troubles me. Like, you feel me? Like that troubles my spirit to know that I already knew there was some shady stuff going on, but a C-section? That's disgusting. You understand? So now, well, what can you do? What can you do so that this land cannot be wicked anymore? Well, they have a saying, everything starts at home. And ISUP Canon Commander General Yohana, just so everybody's clear, I know we're saying we, like I was born in 1969, but my point being is the ISUPK was the first to teach about Israelites, to teach about our history, to bring out the truth of who we are. All these other groups you see, I'm not going to rat nobody out. Y'all can find out for yourself. They'll say that they have the truth. I'll say it with the utmost confidence. No, the hell they don't. They'll say they do. Some of their teachings might be a little similar to what we teach. But trust me, I bumped into Israelite groups where they teach that it's okay to have interracial marriage. You can read all throughout the Bible. No, you're not. They'll try to say, well, Moses had an Ethiopian wife. What they won't tell you is that was before the law was given. What they also won't tell you is sex is marriage. So let's just say hypothetically, right? Let's say I chose to break the law and I had sex with an Asian woman tomorrow. That's still my wife. I would be breaking the law even more if I was to have sex with her and leave her, if that makes sense. So now it's like, well, that's your wife now. Now, my advice to any new brothers that come into the school, let's just say hypothetically, because we've seen it, some brothers might have a woman of another nation when he comes into the school. We're not going to tell you to leave her because that's still your wife. But realistically, she'll leave you. She'll leave you. It happens all the time because her spirit eventually is going to show, and she's going to see that you are not into the things that she's into. You know, they're into their culture. Now you get into your culture and it's going to collide. She'll leave. And if she has sex with another man, which they will, that's not your wife no more. And now you are free of her. Look at that as a blessing because now, Lord allow it, you know, the Lord will give you a better woman of your nation. He might give you 2. He might give you 3. You understand? Other Israelite groups will tell you that it's okay to have heathens within the congregation. You can read the book of Nehemiah. Book of Nehemiah. Look, Nehemiah was a cold brother. And he was not allowing no heathens to come into that temple. When he found out that there was a priest kind of like working underneath the rug to get them in there, oh, he was not having it. He got them all up out there and he had to beg the Most High to not destroy the temple. But the Most High saw what he was doing, and, you know, what Nehemiah was doing was righteous, right? Just to end it off with this, some Israelite groups will tell you that it is okay to buy a prostitute. I wish this was a joke, but it's not. Show me in the Bible where it's okay to buy a prostitute. You know, there's a law in Deuteronomy. I believe it's Deuteronomy or Leviticus, where it says that you shall not prostitute thy daughters. So if you're buying a prostitute, that's somebody's daughter. You are prostituting somebody's daughter. So yes, you are breaking the law. They'll tell you that it's a business transaction. No, the hell it's not. No, the hell it's not. Prostitution is whoredom, and the Most High is against whoredom. And for any brother out there who is buying prostitutes, I'm going to tell you right now, you better stop before God gets you. And he will. Okay? And there's more than one way to punish you. For those of y'all who don't know King David, amazing brother, but he committed adultery by sleeping with Bathsheba and getting, I believe his name was Uri, killed. Tried to mask it up. The Most High could have killed him. The Most High didn't kill him. You know what he did? What did he do? Exactly. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want somebody else to pay for what I did. You get me? So sometimes you gotta think about that. The Most High don't gotta kill you. Most High don't gotta kill you. There's plenty of ways to hurt you. Might give you cancer. You might get into a car crash and become a paraplegic. You might develop diabetes. You might lose your wife. You might lose your son. You might lose your dad, your mom, close friend. Your house might catch on fire and all your valuables are gone and now you're homeless. The Most High can make you suffer, and rightfully so. I know people are like, wait, whoa, no, rightfully so. Because when you obey the Most High, I mean, realistically, he's just showing you how to live. Let's just look at the basics of it. He's telling you what to eat so you can be healthy. The Bible tells you to love your wife. For the wives out there, love your husband. It tells you to be a good father, good mother. Be brotherly, right? Because brothers in the world, they'll fight over anything. Like if me and you were just 2 brothers in the world, just some random brothers in the world, we raised in the hood or whatever, and all it takes for me is to step on your J's or something, and you ready to shoot me. Nah, man, I'm ready to shoot you. They call it what was it, Boondocks, they call it a nigga moment. You know what I'm saying? But in here, we tell you, if you got a problem with a brother, pull him aside. You know, talk to him, communicate, right? Because if we ain't got each other, we ain't got nobody, right? Talk it out. Because honestly, there's probably nothing even really that bad. You might have had a bad day at work or something. Somebody stressed you out. I joke about certain things. Maybe what I said was offensive to you. And you might pull me aside like, hey, it's like, sir, that I wasn't really, my bad. Hey, you good? You know, and just like that, it's cool. You know, nobody gets hurt. Nobody's offended anymore. It's okay. We come from all different walks of life, different personalities. It's normal, you know? But the Most High is literally just showing you how to live properly. Satan gonna kill you. I'll tell you that right now. And you can't serve 2 masters. That's what the Bible says. That's in the book of Matthew. So either you gonna serve the Most High or you're gonna serve Satan. And if you serve Esau, you serve Satan. All right. I know that we live in the land of the wicked right now, but it's like I almost said the Most High. Yahushua said, endure unto the end. Endure to the be strong for those who can't, because you never know. Somebody might be watching you. Like, brother, you saw the brothers out there at camp, right? And now you in here because you saw what was going on and you took it upon yourself to say, you know what? Okay, let me see what they about. Let me see what I could do to better myself. Somebody, Lord allow it, might see you in the future. Be like, I wanna be what's on type of time he on. Let me see what type of time he on, because what I'm doing is not working. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, man. But with that being said, I'll end the class. Before I end the class, you got any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Pretty much, just everything. And I wanted to add, I just had a little thing on abortion because I know that's kind of big
Mm,
right now. And I just wanted people to know that history always repeats itself. Is that Pharaoh did the same thing. He killed every newborn child, which
mm-hmm.
was back then the same thing King Herod did. He killed in Jesus' time. He killed every male child. And you got to think about New Babylon's time. What they do? They killed the babies in the womb. So at a period of time, they was doing. You look through history in the Bible, we see this thing constantly occurring, constantly occurring. And with our people today, we have to know that's against God, man. That is a baby in the womb.
Mm-hmm.
God knew that child. As soon as that seed was in place, He already knew who that child was going to be. That child is accounted for. So all our people, our brothers and sisters out there, I just feel like they need to understand that God has He has a plan, and part of His plan is for us to wake up and start understanding these things that have happened through history.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing I have to say. I heard you touch on that
Mm-hmm.
about abortions, and that kind of spoke to me about how Pharaoh, how King Herod, and then in the time we day New Babylon, America that
Mm-hmm.
we in, that how they was killing off a baby. They meant abortions for the Israelite people. It was never meant for any other nation. It was meant to hinder and stop the population of the Israel people. So now that we understand that, we know that we can't be doing these things. Even if the government said they're stopping it, we shouldn't have been doing them things in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only thing I want to touch on that, brother.
No, I appreciate that. I'm glad you brought that out. Now, what the brother is saying before I end the class, yeah, it's extremely correct. During the time of, I believe it was in Exodus, when Pharaoh was killing off all to bring it even further, he wasn't just killing off all the firstborns, he was killing off all the boys.
Yes.
He was killing off all the boys. That's a hint right there to add on to, of course, the abortion. You are who your father is. You are who your father is. I know that it gets very confusing because I know Esau them mixed in with us, Moab, all of them. So now you got Israelites that look all different and whatnot. You got to test the spirit. It's the spirit. Can't always go off of phenotypes and skin color. I know there's a lot of Israelites out there that get mad because we have our Latino and Hispanic brothers and sisters in here, and they'll say, "Oh, well, they're white. They have primarily white DNA. They have white DNA because of what the Portuguese and the Spaniards did to them." And also, this might piss somebody off. The average so-called African American does have a touch of European DNA because of what they did to our ancestors. You understand? You can't always go off of a look. You gotta test the spirit. Some of them might be Edomites. Some of them might be Hamites. I mean, Hamites are dark skinned. We have similar characteristics, but our spirits are completely different. They got completely different customs. I refuse for anybody to make me think that I'm a Congo Bantu African. Ain't no way in hell. Yes, my ancestors did live there. Yes, we might have been neighbors, but our customs and traditions are completely different. Believe that. I know somebody in Nigeria probably look like my uncle. I don't care. He's probably not me. But going on to the whole abortion, yeah, abortion is against God. That is a child. When you see the ultrasound, babies are smiling in the womb. They can have a heartbeat in the womb. You understand? Babies kick. They kick. I know sisters feel them when they kick, little bump or whatever. But that's life inside of you. And now the world is so wicked now. Now they have brainwashed our sisters into thinking that, having a baby is a burden. It's a burden. There's too many single mothers out there. They push this false stereotype of black fathers not being in the household. Actually, which is crazy, the statistics show that most of the men that are in the household and who are successful fathers is actually African Americans or black people. I kind of hate saying African American, but black people, right? Black men. You want to know who's at the lowest? White and Asian men. So statistically, we are better fathers, but they don't tell you that. They constantly push the image of, black dads are never around. So of course that scares sisters. No sister wants to be a single mother, realistically. They're not built for that. They don't want to be a single mother. It takes two, okay? You need a man in that household, but they have destroyed the image of a man in front of our sisters. Some of them sisters grew up without a father. Maybe he died. Maybe he was a deadbeat dad. Maybe he's in jail. The point is, the image of a man has been completely disrupted in her eyes, especially a black man, a Dominican man, sometimes a Mexican man, et cetera, et cetera. And then they get with a white man thinking things are going to be better, and then it ain't. I've heard all the stories. I can talk all day, but I ain't even got time for that. But going on to the whole abortion thing, yeah, now they brainwashed our sisters thinking, well, it's my body, my choice. Sis, the second, I got something better for you. You're right. It is your body, your choice. You made a choice with your body to spread your legs and have sex with a man. First of all, why you want to have sex with somebody you wouldn't have kids with? Just being real. Sex is made for procreation. Y'all just use it for pleasure. That's the problem. You can have pleasure with your husband, okay? You only need one rod. You don't need 5, okay? It's nasty. You only need one, okay? And then for the ones who always want to propose this argument, I'm going to end it soon. I'll be talking all day if I don't. For the ones who like to say, well, what about the ones who are raped? Statistically, only 1% of the women who get abortions have actually been sexually assaulted. 1%. Well, what about the other 99%? Well, there's another 1 to 2%, I believe, that are actually of medical reasons. Okay? Yes, there are some times when sisters need to get an abortion for a medical reason. Okay? That is a completely different thing. We're talking about women who are getting pregnant and just don't want the baby just because they don't feel like being a mother and taking the responsibility. It's your body, your choice, right? Okay, you spread your legs, you lay down on your back or bent over for a man to have sex with him, and you allowed for him to, you made that choice. You a grown woman. And for the brothers too, you a grown man. Because I've seen some brothers who make their women get an abortion because he's not ready to be a father. You're a coward. You are a coward. If you don't want to raise your kids, give them to the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana. We will raise that child as our own. That will be my son. That will be my daughter, okay? Since you can't raise your kid. But a child should not be denied life simply because their parents were irresponsible. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's not right, and it is against God. Because God punished those who were killing our kids in the past. Now you're doing it. Who you think he's gonna punish now? Just little food for thought. All right. But with that, Salaki, I'll be talking all day. But I'll end it with that. The water for everybody that tuned in. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Shalom, Akwath. I see y'all. The water for tuning in. So with that, I'm gonna end the class. It's 12:13. Yeah, I'll end the class. All right, Amadium, just me up here. La Yasharala, which means to Israel. Amadiam upon Yah Hakwadam, which means to stand and face the east. For the sake of time, let's do these. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak with Ka, Thaba'ah, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Latan Lanawa, Lakam, Ko, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawath Yanawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawath Yanawa, Wala'ah, Thabayanawa, Banasaiwan, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha, looks like it. Waha Wa'ata Parath, Lawalumium, Aman. In the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Sake of time, we'll go straight to Psalms 121. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, All, Hahorim, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Izoria, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'aratazah, All Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, All, Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yemyemka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Belialah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Makal, Rai, Yashamarka, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaathka, Wabawaathka, Ma'itha, Wa'ai, Iowalam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
All.
All.
Damaya.
Damaya.
Laka.
Laka.
All.
All.
Thakarash.
Thakarash.
Wa all.
Wa all.
Tashakwat.
Tashakwat.
All.
All.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Hana.
Hana.
Awayabyaka.
Ayayuka.
Yahama.
Yahama.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
I'll.
I'll.
Imaka.
Amaka.
Ya'ayamwa.
Ya'amu.
Sawada.
Sawada.
Waita.
Waita.
Yaitazawa.
Waitazawa.
I'll.
I'll.
Tazapawanyaka.
Tazawawayaka.
Amarwa.
Amora.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakinum.
Wanakakim.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yasakar.
Shum.
Shum.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Iwada.
Awada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Natazawa.
Nazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakadwa.
Yukawa.
Alyaka.
Ayuka.
Bar Yath.
Baya.
Yakarathwa.
Yakawa.
Ahoya.
Ahoya.
Adawam.
The other one.
Wa.
Wa.
Yashama Alim.
Yashamalim.
Mawa Abba.
Mawa Abba.
Wahagorium.
Wahagorium.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wayama1.
Wayama1.
Wayamalak.
Wayamala.
Palashah.
Hayasha.
Am Yashabia.
Ayashabah.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gum.
Gum.
Ashawar.
Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imum.
Imam.
Hayawa.
Iowa.
Zorawai.
Zorawai.
Labunya.
Labunya.
Lawat.
Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Lahum.
Lahum.
Kamadyam.
Kamadyam.
Kasaya.
Kasaya.
Sara'ah.
Sara'ah.
Kayabyan.
Kayabyan.
Banakwa.
Barakwan.
Kwayashwan.
Kashashwan.
Nasha. Madwa.
Nasha. Doa.
Bayan.
Bayam.
Dara.
Dara.
Hayawa.
Iowa.
Daman.
Daman.
La'adama.
Adama.
Shayatamwa.
Shatamwa.
Nada.
Nada.
Yadmawa.
Yamawa.
Kaibrab.
Kaibra.
Wakaza Abba.
Kaza Abba.
Wakazabak.
Akazaba.
Wakatazal.
Okazazal.
Manai.
Manai.
Call.
Call.
Nasa Yakamwa.
Nasa Yakamo.
Ashar.
Ashur.
Amarwa.
Amora.
Nayarasha.
Mearashur.
Lanawa.
Lalawa.
Af.
Af.
Nawath.
Nawaf.
Alahayim.
Alahai.
Alahaya.
Alahai.
Shayatamwa.
Shaitam.
Kagogala.
Kagogla.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapunya.
Lapunya.
Rawaka'a.
Wa'aka'a.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Taba Ira.
Tawa Aaron.
Ya'ira.
Aaron.
Wa.
Wa.
Kalahaba.
Kalahaba.
Falahat.
Falahas.
Haryum.
Haryum.
Kun.
Kun.
Faradama.
Faradama.
Basa Iraka.
Barasa Araka.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapafka.
Wapafka.
Tabahalam.
Wapalam.
Mala'a.
Mala'ah.
Panyahum.
Palahum.
Kuala One.
Kalawan.
Waya.
Waya.
Bakwashwa.
Wakashwa.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahawa.
Wahai.
Yabashwa.
Yobashua.
Waya.
Waya.
Bahawa.
Bahawa.
Ayya Aid.
Agai.
Waya.
Waya.
Kaparwa.
Parwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Abadwa.
Abawa.
Waya.
Waya.
Daiwa.
Dawa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Atha.
Atha.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labaka.
Labaka.
Alyawan.
Ayawan.
Alcohol.
Alcohol.
Ha-Rataza.
Alcohol.
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep thou not silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still,
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make atonement,
thy enemy make atonement.
and they that hate thee
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted
and consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden one.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
come
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation,
that the name of Israel
that the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
shall be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They are confederate against thee.
the tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacle of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab, and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
and with the inhabitants of Tyre.
A sword also is joined with them.
A sword was also drawn with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as unto Sarah,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
where the parish of the brook.
They became as dung for the earth.
They as came from a dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red,
Make their nobles like a red,
and like Zaid.
like Zaid.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes,
all their princes,
as Zabah,
as Sabbath,
and as Zalmunna,
as Amun,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the houses of God of possession.
O my God,
Oh my God,
make them like a will,
make them like a wheel,
as a stubble before the wind,
as a stubble before the wind,
and as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burnt the wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with that storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled
and troubled
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
his name alone,
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
are the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Anybody teach you the salute?
No.
So whenever there's like an audience, so this is what we'll do. So I will say, men of Israel, prepare to salute the teacher. And this is what you would do. So I would say Amijim, so you would stand like this. Then I'll say Amijim Shabbat, and you would step with your right foot out like this. Then I'll say Amijim, you stand back. Then I'll say Barak, and then you would do the salute for the brothers, which would be Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah. If you need to read it, it's actually right next to you right there. You just read it backwards, so it'll be like Shalom, Shalom, Yahweh, Ba'ashem,
Shalom,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Bashem,
Yahushua,
Yahshua,
Barak,
Barak,
Atah.
Atah.
And then I would repeat back. If there was more brothers, I would say, since it's just you, I would say Atah for singular. If it was more, I would say Atham. So for you, I would say Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Barakatah. Then I would say Yajamata. You put your arm down. And then I would do class dismiss. If there were sisters here, I would say, men of Israel, prepare to salute the sisters. And then I would say Sarah, which means to turn, and you would turn to them. And then we'll do the same thing. And I would join y'all. We'll do Amijim Shabbat, Amijim, Barak. But then this time we would say the greeting for the sisters, which would be at the bottom. So we would say Shalom, Yahweh, Shamar, Alatah, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yeah, because in the Hebrew you read right to left, not left to right. Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Yahweh,
It'd be, yeah, I know it's yeah. It takes some getting used to read the other way. It takes some getting used to. But there's no sisters here now. I just wanted to show you real quick. So, but other than that, Yajmatah class dismissed. So we good now.